Okay, well, welcome. Good morning. Rob Whitty here, calling in out of Toronto. And as some of starting back in February, Brenda and I began to explore the marketplace for an opportunity to make a difference in people's lives. And we looked, and honestly, we didn't see a lot in the industry. Been in the network marketing industry for over 30 years. Been fortunate enough to make millions of dollars in the industry, and just looking for the right home, it can sometimes be challenging. Just a few weeks ago, things had begun to develop here with New Water, and when we took a look at what New Water has put together, it really was just a call to us. We've got a product here from the earth that can really make a substantial difference in people's lives. So I decided to hop on board here. Really excited when I got a chance to meet Marc St. Onge and Carlo Garibaldi. We got some amazing leadership here at the company. And so Brenda and I are all in. We love this. We're all in on New Water and the global expansion here. And we got a chance here, folks, with our timing to make a significant impact. So today I want to introduce you to the CEO, the formulator, the guy who's been working with this for 30 years. And until recently, most of the world has kind of been kept in the dark about a miraculous medical discovery that I'm finding out is so safe, it's powerful, and it's effective. Doctors have been spanning the globe and they've been using it. Literally, healers have been using it for thousands of years with amazing results. Now it's being called the missing link to optimum health and nutrition by leading scientists, and medical studies even have shown that this secret extract has the ability to change one's life for the better. Scientists have discovered this missing link in our food chain and can see that rapidly increasing degenerative diseases worldwide may be directly related to the absence of this substance in the human diet. What is this substance? It's called fulvic and humic acid. Here's the man that knows all about it and is bringing us these amazing products to the marketplace, Mr. Marc St. Onge, or as we call him, the Saint. Welcome, Marc.
Thanks a lot, Rob. That's nice. I'm not really the saint because I don't have any wings.
Okay. Well, we look at you like that, Marc. Here's exciting, Marc. All of us are kind of like a new team here. We're just, getting in the groove, and certainly I want to thank you for your availability. Can you kind of just relate to us, just like in your own way, your story and how this came to be, and where we are now in the world, and the need for fulvic acid in the people's in the global community. So maybe you can kind of just lead us through your story. I think people find this extremely interesting.
Yeah, sure. No problem. I always like talking about me and the story from the beginning. It started really in officially 1987. I went to school. I was trained as an orthotherapist. And for those of you who don't know what orthotherapy is, it's a holistic approach to musculoskeletal problems. So I was always looking for innovative ways to treat musculoskeletal problems, and especially pain and inflammation. So we used to shut down the schools. My mother had an aesthetic school also, and we used to shut down in the summer. And one summer in '87, I went to Germany, and I was introduced to Dr. Ehrlich, who had a sanatorium, and he's actually treating people with inflammation with this black mud. So I was kind of intrigued. And so I went there and I spent a week, and I saw, people roll in with wheelchairs and crutches. And a week later, after going into submersible baths and mud wraps and stretching and dieting and eating the mud, they came out no pain and walking. So I said, wow, I got to bring this back to Canada. So as a young orthotherapist, I was thrilled to start giving this to my patients. And I used to give that to my patients in a Ziploc bag, and I used to tell them, take a quick couple of mud baths, and I'll see you in a couple of days. And sure enough, the people would come back and say, wow, this is Marc, this is great. I don't have any more pain. Can I have another extra bag? I want to give this to my uncle or my aunt. And started doing 500 of these Ziploc bags in my garage. And I said, well, I was raised in northern Ontario, and when I was young, I used to go bullfrog hunting in these swamps, and I had like this black mud knee high, and I said, well, maybe we have the same stuff here in Canada. So I researched 63 bogs from Rivière-du-Loup in Quebec to northern Ontario and Kapuskasing, and I found that researching fulvic and humic, we had a wonderful opportunity because in Castlemaine, Ontario, and even in northern Ontario, there was a humic content of 36% compared to 10, 8, and 11% in the German Black Forest mud. So I went back to see the Germans and I showed them the results, and they were interested because we had a better quality mud, and they started buying us, and that's how it was born. So I founded a company that produced mud, and that was challenging because you go to the bank to get financing, and the banker tells you, what's your project? And I tell them, I want a bottle of mud. Well, sure enough, they start laughing, and it's kind of hard to convince somebody to say you're going to make money bottling mud. But my forte was to help people, and if people would take a mud bath, they'd feel a lot better. And I never let go, and I always persisted. And I founded the company in 1994, and the first year we did $500,000 of mud with a bucket of mud and a bottle of mud. And we expanded into 14 countries. We developed the spa market, 89 products. Wonderful ride, made a lot of money, helped a lot of people, but I was always working with therapists, and I was always going back to train therapists. And I was saying, one day we're going to drink this stuff. And so in 2012, I sold my company, and I dedicated my time and life and money to the extraction of fulvic from the peat. And today we have this product called New Water, which is a liquid formula that you actually take internally to have the same benefits as going into a spa and getting a mud bath and a mud wrap. And it's very, very unique. We now have Health Canada approved with an NPN. We can do health claims as an antioxidant, and it's a very powerful electrolyte. And so there's a different delivery system, but I also thought that, if you put that on the shelf and people don't know what fulvic is all about, let's put it in direct sales and let's put it in the hands of consumers. And that's why we decided to go direct into network marketing, because that was the best vehicle to get this product out. And so the secret was, like, for 25 years, a little secret that a lot of therapists knew, but we want to tell the world about this secret. So that's, in a nutshell, 25 years of my life.
I love it. Thank you, Marc. And I've talked to a couple of people, and they say, "Well, Rob, there's a lot of different fulvic out there. What has Marc discovered about fulvic that makes this fulvic different than some of the other fulvics that are in the marketplace?"
Yeah, that's a good question, Rob. The importance to know is to know that we extract from peat. So peat is a swamp. It's a peatland. There's different words for that, but slang word is swamp, and you all know what it is, especially people living in Canada, because we're a lot of those. But it's a mixture of over 1,500 plants where we extract ours. And you see, these plants grow. And while they're growing, they take the energy from the sun. They transform that. They take the inorganic metals and minerals from the soil, and they transform that into organics. And then in the fall, they die. And when they die, they fall back into this huge basin of muck and water, and it stays there and stagnant because the bottom of these swamps is usually clay, and that the water doesn't seep away. And what you need to know from our environment is that we still have the Champlain Ocean from the Ice Age in the Ottawa Valley, and so we still have these mineral springs coming into the swamps also. So as these plants decompose, humification process is the degradation of plants that become biochemical and become nutrients. And the first 5-6 feet of the peat is the black earth that you buy to grow your plants in your garden. So as it decomposes deeper down, it renders this fulvic acid, which is an alkaline product. And we say acid, but everybody thinks, oh God, it's going to burn me. But it actually is a product that is alkaline. And the structure of the 1,500 plants is organic, just like us. So if you compare it to other fulvics, which comes from leonardites or comes from shales, or they come from the Himalayas and the rocks in the rock formation, they are fossilized. They're a lot older and they're fossilized. And because of that, they render a lot of heavy metal. And they are inorganic. And so it's very hard for the body to absorb. So I think the comparison is that our fulvic is easy absorbable. It's bioavailable. And the other one is not.
Yeah, that is such a key point, Marc, for us to remember. And it's great having this source coming from this bog that I guess is, 60,000 plus years old. You're pulling content from deep down in the earth. Can you just kind of give us a picture of what that looks like? Because is there environmental issues, Marc, or how is that processing done?
We extract in the winter most of the time. Because at minus 30, we can go deeper in the bog, and we use an auger system. It's like a drill, and we go in at 40 feet, 50 feet deep. So we go right to the clay, and then we bring it up to about 5 feet, and we extract the mud from there. So we don't destroy the ecosystem. We don't drain the fields and get rid of the water and dry the peat like most people do. And I mean, that was the problem in Germany, is that in the Black Forest, they used to drain the peat, and they used to make little blocks out of it because it was fossil fuel, and they used to heat their homes because fulvic minerals come from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. That's the source. And this carbon contains all the 70 minerals that we need to survive and take in to create homeostasis in our body. So when the environment is we've been doing it for 25 years, and I can bring you to the bog, you won't even see a difference, because it replenishes also. It's a replenishable ingredient, and we don't destroy any ecosystem. And we're pretty proud of that, because we don't want to do that.
Yeah, and also I think you worked out not only not destroying the ecosystem, but you worked out a proprietary strategy for extracting the fulvic. Can you speak to that just for a minute, Marc?
Yes, so we don't use any chemicals, again, because it's not inorganic and it's not fossilized. So what we do is we do a freeze-drying lyophilization process where we get rid of the water. We actually keep the water, but the water is taken out through a freeze-dried process. And then it's compressed into a oxygen and mineral spring water system. And then it's dried again. And at the end of that process, we have the humic and fulvic content. So we have a mixture of humic and a mixture of fulvic all in our blend, because humic is very important, because that's the anti-inflammatory agent. And the fulvic is the adaptogen. The fulvic is the chelator of heavy metal. So the combination of both makes it a powerful product for human consumption.
Can you speak to, when I was on the phone with you, you told me there was basically 5 key areas that the fulvic targets. Do you want to address those 5 key areas, Marc?
Yes, actually, that was proven by Dr. Stober. He's an Austrian doctor out of Nidhafting. He used to have a spa there, and I actually had the privilege of meeting him in 1994. He was the first one to study more therapy, and he discovered that there were 5 benefits. So the first one is anti-inflammatory. The second one is cell regenerative. Any skin problems, for example, you cut yourself with a kitchen knife, you don't think of putting mud on your finger, but if you put more mud on it and you wrap it up, the next day it's healed. That's how powerful the cell regenerating properties are. It's very, very powerful. The third one is a hormone balancer. So in these 1,500 plants, you have male and female plants, and they produce phyto or phytohormones, like we say in Canada, and they're in this fulvic. And so it balances your hormonal system. The fourth one is a chelator of heavy metal. Chelating means binding, means eliminating from the system. So because fulvic is nanonized, it's so small and minute that it has the ability to go and permeate into the cell to bring nutrients, but because it's a negative charge, it brings the chelates, the heavy metal, out of the cell and brings it out into your urine and your sweat. And of course, the last but not least, it's an adaptogen. So it actually looks at the building blocks in your body. So if you're acid prone and you have to leach into your bone marrow to equilibrate the blood at 7.3 or 7.4, it'll say, hey, we have to increase the bone marrow cells. And this adaptogenic formulation of fulvic, and it has to be present on a daily basis. And that's why we recommend taking 5 milliliters of this fulvic every day, to get that adaptogenic. And that is a very powerful benefit in this day and age, because we don't have all the minerals that we get in our foods because of the environment in which we live in. So those are the 5 benefits.
Well, I love that aspect of it, and keeping our bones safe. There's so many people with bone issues as we get older, and of course, like you're saying, your body's leaching it out. We've got right now 3 delivery systems. We've got the liquid in the drops, we've got the sachets, and we've got the coffee. So speak a little bit about that delivery system. What normally would people start with, and what did you find the best kind of protocol for folks to get started?
When I started this, it was easy. It was just take, a 5 milliliters. So what we created is a sachet, like a stick. And so you just tear the stick, you put it in your water, 500 ml of water, your bottled water, and you drink it in the morning. Always first thing in the morning. You should drink, room temperature water. Just put the fulvic in and drink it. And then we had someone who said, well, I don't like the lemon taste, and I want it natural. So then we created the dropper, which is 100 ml, 20 dosages, and that is natural. And the natural flavor can be put in yogurt, can be put in foods, can be put in anything else but water. And you can even give those to your animals. And so that was another product I recreated. And then I'm a coffee lover. I drink coffee, and I've got a lot of nice research on healthy coffee. Now, I'm not saying I drink 12 cups a day, but when you drink 1 or 2 cups in the morning, it's for me very important. You get a lot of magnesium. It activates the peristaltic movement. People go to the washroom. It's fantastic. So what I did is maybe we can put fulvic in coffee. And so that's what we did. So we infused fulvic in the coffee. It's a dark roast, very nice coffee. And we added a little bit of fibrosol, which is a probiotic, which helps in the intestinal flora. So if we work on constipation, we work on digestion, and at the same time, fulvic will bring your body in an alkaline state because coffee is a little acid, so it alkalizes it. So it's a great formulation. So those are the 3 delivery systems we have right now.
Yeah, and I remember hearing you say something about increasing the oxygen by 45%. Can you speak to that a little bit, Marc? How the oxygenation works?
So we talked about just one process, and one little thing about oxygen is that, we talk about oxygen and water, but oxygen is a gas. So fulvic comes from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. So when we throw fulvic in water, you're actually increasing the oxygen level up to 45% when you're drinking it within the hour. So you're increasing the power of absorption. You're increasing the power of the electrolyte, the oxygen molecules going into the cell and creating more oxygen. And at the same time, creating more oxygen, it reduces the acidity. So you become more alkaline. And God knows that we need to be an alkaline body right before being acid.
Yeah, great. That's amazing. I love that. And so we make sure as soon as we put our fulvic in the water, we drink it right away. Marc, these are phenomenal products. I absolutely love them. I felt that my body resonate with the product the moment I started. And I love where we're at right now. Can you give us a glimpse? And I know we're not here to set timelines or dates, but I am aware as a naturopathic doctor, as an herbalist, as an orthotherapist, over the past 30 years, you've developed some 89 different products. A lot of people don't even know you're a naturopathic doctor, by the way, Marc, but you've developed over 89 products over this past 3 decades. Can you paint a little vision of the future for us of New Water for the folks on the line this morning, Marc?
Well, a lot of us, especially my old clients and old professionals who still favor the mud therapy, we had a fantastic mud bath. This was the pine bath. We sold millions of bottles, and actually, I still have people, searching me down, rushing me down to try to get it because the bathing philosophy of the European techniques, where everybody would take a mud bath every night, is something that I really want to bring to the floor. So we're working on an infused fulvic with pine bath. That's going to be fantastic. I mean, we were in the cosmetic business for 30 years, and I was in the aesthetic field. So we have formulas from a veil mask, which is anti-aging. The other one, whitening. We have serums with fulvic and different plant extracts for skin disorders, cuprose, sensitivity, oily skin, anti-aging. We have lotions, creams. We have an anti-inflammatory cream. We also work with a protein, a pea protein, and fulvic, which is with a dark chocolate. And we have a meal replacement and also tea. So those are all in the pipeline. They're all in the roundup of products that we want to put forward and help people consume as much fulvic as they can in different vehicles.
Can you get too much fulvic, Marc?
No, you can't overdose. The body will take what it needs, and then it'll release it through the natural passages. You can't. I mean, if I'm a living proof, because I tried to overdose by taking it every day for an hour, every hour, and then nothing happened. So the only thing that happened is I stopped my aging process. You see, I'm 78 years old. Everybody thinks I'm 50. No, that's not true.
I love it. I love it, Marc. Well, listen, we're so proud of you, what you put together, and the integrity you're bringing to the table, Marc. I love it, both Brenda and myself. Matter of fact, Brenda actually had a little accident here with a fan. She somehow got her finger in a fan and cut it badly, and immediately started soaking it in some fulvic yesterday and some new water product. It's healing up very rapidly here. So really pleased. So I guess we can use it externally as well as internally, even the product that we have now.
That's how it was used in the first place. We had mud wraps for cellulite, weight loss. We had some for inflammation. We had some for skin problems. So, I mean, when we talk about cell regenerating, we had different applications of mud, and one of them is just putting a poultice on anywhere that hurts, anywhere that has a skin problem. You'll see it'll heal very quickly.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, Marc, excited to be partnered up, as I know the team is here on the line today. We're extremely pleased to be partnered up with you and linking arms together to bring your formulations to the world, Marc. So thank you for allowing us to be part of this movement. And it's great to be together with you here, Marc. And thank you for taking the time today to be with us.